testimonial at just 22 minutes past 8 a.m. It's Power 104.1 FM on About Love, and I am excited about the conversation we're about to have right now. In studio, we do have Loy Kwagala, an author, image expert, and speaker here to talk about mind your image. Minding your image. What does it mean? Welcome to studio, Loy. How are you this morning?
I'm very well, thank you, Ronnie. How are you?
I am good. You're looking like, when you say mind your image, I can see what you mean, because the style is, that is minding your image.
I'm glad I do.
So, when you say mind your image, what does it mean to mind your image?
Wow. So first of all, it's good to be here, and a very good morning to all our listeners all over the world, because I know we reached there. Now, minding your image, first of all, let's give it a background.
Okay.
Everybody needs to have or has an image that they are aspiring to have,
Right.
which I call the absolute success image.
Absolutely.
For example,
Success image.
Yes. For example, you are here as a radio show host, but you could have a target of having your own radio station.
Right.
Now that is your goal. So that would be your absolute success image. Like, I want to be seen one day as a radio station owner. Now, this process of getting there from where you are now is what we call mind your image. Every little thing you do today to move you from being a radio show host to a radio station owner is minding your image. Let me break it down. You're going to carry out that process in 3 phases.
Okay.
And I talk about that in my books. The first phase is where you get to answer the question, who am I?
Who am I?
Okay? And when you start minding your image, the first thing everybody needs to do or needs to know is to excavate themselves. How do you find out who you are?
Okay.
Excavate, like, find out, dig deeper or delve into yourself and focus the torch on yourself instead of other people.
And how do you do it?
How you do that is, of course, you get help from experts like me to help you do that, because if you knew how to, you would be where you're supposed to be already. And it's a process. Nobody is there. I am not there yet. So you excavate yourself, you find out, who am I? And that means that you're going to reflect on your inward qualities. It means that you're going to reflect more on your abilities to find out what is Ronnie capable of. If he's focusing on becoming a radio station owner, what does he have within him that he doesn't need to buy, he doesn't need to consult from anybody from, he doesn't need to ask for, that is going to take him to that place to obtain his absolute success image. So that is the first thing that everybody needs to figure out. Excavate yourself. That's the first process, and the question you answer there is, who am I? Now the second process is where you say, okay, now I am able to tell the world who I am. So when we ask you, who are you?
I'm a radio station owner.
Exactly, you're able to respond to that. But before we even get there, we ask you, how did you do that? You're able to say, oh, by the way, I have this experience in radio. I have been hosting shows for this long. I'm good with people. All those qualities you're talking about, nothing is from a degree. Nothing is from, I prayed and the Lord gave me this. He gave it to you already.
Right.
So everything that you get to find out from the first phase of who am I, you get to now tell the world that, hey, my name is Loy Kwagala, I'm an author, I'm an image expert, and I am a speaker. So somebody will ask me, oh goodness, how did you even find out that? Which school did you go to? I say, I know what I'm doing. The fact that I read about it, I did not need no school to qualify me. So that's what it is for me. And when you're able to answer the question, who am I? That is what the marketplace requires of you. That is where even every sphere of your life requires of you. Your health, your finances, your social life, everything else that you do requires of you to be able to answer the question, who am I?
Who am
When you go for an interview, they always ask you, so tell us about you.
Yeah.
That's phase 2 of minding your image. If you did not go through phase 1 of finding out who you are, you would never be able to answer that question. Beyond, I have a degree in this, which thousands of more brilliant kids have, or people. Everybody can do what you're doing, but what makes you stand out? That little attribute in you that is who you are. Okay. Now the third last way of doing this is now saying, okay, the fact that I found out who I am and I'm able to tell the world who I am, I need to put this together. Minding your image is about doing it from the inside out. That's why we started by finding out who you are.
Inside out.
Yes.
Okay.
So it doesn't start by the jackets we're wearing now, or how we look, the haircuts, the styles, or makeup. No, that's not it. That's the last thing. The world focuses more on that for economic purposes. There would be no making money if the fashion industry wasn't there. If we were not able to be judging people by the cover, imagine how much loss would be there in economics. So that has to happen, because nobody's going to see your heart or read your mind. We all have to look at you and then decide, okay, what are we supposed to be doing here? So when you are able to communicate these two answers, that's powerful. When you're able to support the brand you're wearing without even saying the price tag. So when we look at you, like I walked in here and you're like, you look like Mind Your Image. I didn't say anything, but you judged me by the cover. Now, if I am to start speaking and I can't defend that judgment that you gave, that's where the world gets disappointed. And we get disappointed by that as so many times, because you realize that people are still questing for that, bridging that gap. Now, take it back a little bit. Who am I helps you to mind your self-image. Who are you helps you to mind your personal image. I don't know if you know the difference.
Hey, wait, hold up. Go back. Just who I am helps you to?
Helps you to answer your self-image question.
Your self-image.
Yes, because self-image is basically how you view yourself.
Okay.
So when you always ask yourself, who am I? What am I here for? What's my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? Everything about you is basically telling you that, hey, it's self. It's about you. Now, when you answer, who are you? You're telling the world and everything outside of you. So that's personal image, where others have an opinion about you. That's personal image. But you realize everything that has been designed by our society or the world or everything around us is focusing more on the personal image. That's why today Instagram is driving people crazy. Social media is taking everybody by storm. In Luganda to Garment, back to our speed. So, because you want to qualify for the personal image opinion that somebody else has about you, and you forget that your self-image opinion is more important.
Yes, you have to find out who you are before answering who am I to the what.
Exactly, because what are you going to say then? And that means that everything personal image is going to sway you around. Will you trendy and it's younger? You just jump ship on everything you don't have an identity or even a sense of identity. And that's how many people have found solace in things like drugs or wrong habits, without even understanding. Some people are even actually very depressed because you realize that you can't keep up with the pressures of personal image. You will not be able to afford everything that comes trendy. You won't be able to change the iPhone every day. Yet you think that's what defines you.
Right.
Right.
If you do have a question, you're wondering, okay, maybe I'm an iPhone user, but it doesn't define me, let me know. 0753-104-104. Also, you can call through on 0414-34-2020 as we continue with the conversation here on Power 104.1 FM.
Move away!